Hello, my name is Ignace Aleya from ToleratedCinematics.com, and today I will be showing you how to remove a green screen in Adobe After Effects. If you haven't seen my previous video, I uploaded that last week. I gave 10 tips on how to set up your green screen properly. So all these tips go over on how to set up a green screen, and actually that's one of the most important things when removing green screen. It starts at the production phase. So while recording your video, that part is the most important thing. So if you set it up correctly, you won't have a lot of work afterwards. And so if you still have problems in your green screen, you'll have to fix those in post, and it's going to ask a lot more time. So definitely check out that video. I'll link it here in the video so you can click on it and check that out first. If you have seen that video already, or you already have your footage, we can continue with the tutorial. So right here I have some footage from me explaining previous week's video, and we're going to use this as a preview to remove our green screen. So I'm not standing too far away from my green screen. I'm like around 2 meters, I think, and the walls are also white, so it's not ideal because the white walls will reflect a little bit of the green into my face, and it will reflect a little bit on me, but that shouldn't be too big of a problem. So first of all, what I do is I click on the pen tool here and I mask around my character very roughly, so it doesn't have to be perfect, but just to eliminate as much as possible. So let's close this down. So now we have me here. I will disable the transparent background. So I have this right here. I'll click M on the keyboard to reveal the mask here, and I'll click on the stopwatch to create a new keyframe. So now I'll go through my video, the part that I want to delete, and I'll make sure that my mask is in the right position, and I'll move that together with my actions. So if you have a moving character, you should take your time and just really mask it very roughly. Once you have that set up, I'll trim my comp to my work area. So I'll trim the comp, right click, trim comp to work area. So now I have a video file of me roughly masked out with the mask tool. You can see right here I'm leaning outside of my mask, so I'll just position that right over there. And let's double check one last time here. So over here I should move it a little bit more to the right. And now that should be fine. Okay. So the next thing I always do is, I disable my mask. Then I click on my footage again, I go to Effect, and I go to Noise and Grain, so that's right over here. And then I click on Remove Grain. If you have the Neatvideo plugin that I also have talked about in a previous video, you can check that out. That is a very good option to remove your noise in your footage, but if you don't have an external plugin, you can do it with Remove Grain. It's just a little slower, and it's not as effective as Neatvideo, but definitely check out that video as well if you want to remove noise as good as possible. So right here I filmed this with the GH4, and GH4 is actually a 4K camera that really records it very well when the scene is very well lit, so I won't have a lot of noise. But for these people that do have noise, it's always interesting to just check your noise and remove as much as possible, because noise in your green is also going to change the green color, therefore it's going to be harder to remove your green screen. So I'll go to the final output immediately, and I'll see that removing grain will also really flatten out my image, so I'll do that a little bit less. So I'll go to noise reduction settings, that's right over here, and noise reduction to, let's say, 5. There we go, and then I'll keep it at that. So that will do a pretty good job on removing the noise. And now we can start on clicking on Effect, going to Keying, Key Light 1.2. So this is an integrated plugin from After Effects itself. You also have external plugins that do very good jobs at removing green screens, but this one is mostly good enough. So I'll just pick with this. So I click on here, and I'll try to click on a medium green color in my scene. So you can see right here it's a little bit overexposed. Well, it's not overexposed, but too much light. This is a mistake I have made, so you should make sure you have an as flat as possible background. Also here you can see a bit of wrinkles, so I'll try to click it over here, and let's see what that will do. So you can see that I haven't perfectly lit my scene, and yeah, that's my bad, but I don't have enough lights to light my scene good enough. So yeah, it's not too big of a problem. You can see that I am masked out pretty good actually. So the only thing we will have to do is go to screen matte here and then play with the clip black and white, and also with the balance and the gain. So try to change these values as less as possible, so don't try to exaggerate, really go step by step, and we can see that it's already fixing some of these problems. So we went to around 113 here, and if I lower the balance here or I up the balance, we can also see some change. So let's see what that will do. We will keep this just at 50. And then for the black, I'll also up the black to like let's say 5 here. And now if I right click on my scene here, so in my timeline, I right click new solid, and I'll pick a magenta color because that's a very contrasty color. I really dislike working with this because it really hurts my eyes, but it's a really good checkup to see if green is completely gone. And we can see on the background we have no green at all. Everything is removed very well. We can see the edges are very clear, and the only reason being is because we have done a great job of setting up our green screen, so we don't have a lot of work. It's possible that if you do this on a green screen footage, that you will have some noise, or your arms will fade off, and your hair will fade off because you played a little bit too much with these settings, and that's probably because you're not working with a good green screen set here. So I would really suggest try to redo that shoot, or yeah, just optimize your shoot as good as possible. And if you really don't have another option, well, you'll have to rotoscope it, or you will have to play a little bit more with these settings until you find something that works. You can also use the screen softness, like set it at 1, and maybe a pre-blur of 1 as well, and that will also enhance your footage a little bit, so to make it a little bit better. I will take this off, and now we can see that if I press play on this video file, that my green screen is perfectly removed. So okay, and then lastly we should enable our mask again, and as you can see in this video, it's really not necessary for me to enable that mask, but for me it's more like a security kind of thing. So you can see we have our mask, and I'm 100% sure that nothing outside of this mask will be shown, and I wouldn't be 100% sure if I wouldn't have that mask, but because sometimes some curves, some wrinkles from the green screen still appear in my shot while it's playing, and that's not what I want to happen. So the mask is more of a security kind of thing, and also you could see that my green screen was covering the whole image here, and in some cases that isn't the case. So yeah, the rough mask, it still benefits, but yeah, it wasn't really necessary. This is actually a video on how to remove green screens in Adobe After Effects. I hope you liked it, and if you have any experience with green screens, let me know in the comments below, and yeah, I'll see what I can do. Maybe I can help out, or maybe you can share some ideas, help me out, because I'm still learning as well. So filmmaking is a journey of learning, and you keep learning until yeah, you basically die. But of course, so this was it for this video. Hope you liked it. If you did, give it a like. Also, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more tutorials, reviews, and much more. Just check out the channel if you haven't already.